So clearly you understood why Jenna left. You just wanted to make a big deal out of it. You're not slick, Aaron. And they're like, oh my God, yes, we love the dollar store. It's so fun. And Sai's like, no, bitch. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Roxy with Roxy Says, and we're going to talk about it. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. So today we are reviewing The Real Housewives of New York, Season 14, Episode 3. Now, yes, I know that I did not review Episodes 1 and 2, but I'm going to tell you why, okay? Listen, I am a Brooklyn girl, born and raised. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. So, of course, when I found out that there was going to be a revamp, reboot, redo, whatever of The Real Housewives of New York, I said, perfect. I have to watch this. I have to review it. It's a brand new cast and I don't gotta catch up, especially because I never watched the previous seasons of Real Housewives of New York. So I wanted to love the show off the bat, okay, right? This is my city. I'm like, this is perfect. I sat down. I was ready to take notes and everything. And I did take notes, but child, Episode 1 was boring to me, okay? I looked on Twitter. Y'all seem to love it. I was like, what show was I watching? Because I was bored, okay? Yes, we got introduced to some of the ladies, but we were really just talking about Aaron being mad about cheese and Sai and Brynn ditching Aaron to go to that restaurant that they kept bleeping out, Catch or whatever it's called, right? But we did get to meet the ladies, and I think like everyone else, I fell in love with Jenna. Like, Jenna's a bad bitch, and I mean that in the most respectful way possible. But Jenna's a bad bitch, okay? Another thing that I picked up on Episode 1 was the dynamic between Jessel and her husband. In the small scene that we saw them speaking, I was like, oh, it's not looking too good between them. But off the bat, the show did not do it for me. And I said, okay, we'll try again next week. So here comes Episode 2, and I was even more bored. Oh my God, Episode 2 was even harder for me to get through because I'm like, okay, so we went from arguing about cheese to now arguing about caviar. But in Episode 2, we did at least get to learn a little bit more about the girls, a little bit more about their stories. Not everybody quite yet, but we got to see how they interact with each other. Still, I was not thoroughly impressed. Went on Twitter. Y'all was loving it. I was like, what? Is it me? Maybe third time's a charm. So I watched Episode 3 and baby, I'm in. Episode 3 did it for me. I was thoroughly entertained and I was like, okay, this is what I was waiting for. So let's get into our review. So as this episode opens up, the ladies are still at Aaron's Hampton vacation home, okay? And there's no heat. The heat is not working in any of the guest rooms, so the ladies are freezing cold. We find out that the night before, Jenna left because she had a 6:30 a.m. call for work. And this turns out to be a huge deal for a lot of the ladies. So while Aaron and Jessel are discussing Jenna leaving, Jessel says to Aaron, maybe she left because like her house is on the water and yours isn't. Child, Jessel just says whatever comes to her mind. She doesn't realize how her words offend people or how her words can hurt someone's feelings. And then on top of that, she said this to Aaron. Aaron is extremely self-conscious. This episode really showed that. It really matters to her what people think, right? She was offended that everyone didn't want to eat caviar. If you are having an event, right, for numerous people and you're not 100% sure on what they eat, caviar is not the dish to go with, okay? Caviar is not the dish to go with. Maybe you could have caviar like in addition to something else that more people eat, but to only have caviar and then be offended that people are looking for something else to eat, girl, like, use your head, Aaron, okay? So anyway, when Jessel makes that comment, Aaron is like, what are you saying? My house isn't good enough because it's not on the ocean? And Jessel is like, no, that's not what I'm saying. Jessel, that is what you're saying, okay? So the ladies do agree that Jenna leaving last night was rude and they want to speak to her about it. Jenna comes over bright and early in the morning with coffees in tow for the ladies, and they're asking her, why did you leave? Why did you leave us last night? And she lets them know, like, I had a 6:30 call. This was for work, so I wanted to make sure that I was well rested so that I can be up and prepared for my call. They show us footage that the night before, the ladies, they was partying, they was dancing, they was having a good time, and Jenna wanted to go to sleep, so she left. And at this point, like, all of the ladies are ganging up on her, and Jenna's like, wait, let's back up. It was late. Y'all were partying. The music was very loud, and you guys were like right under the room that I was in, so I couldn't sleep. I had to go. And in Sai's confessional, she's calling Jenna geriatric, and she's like, oh, turn down that music. Turn the music down. And I was like, Sai, Don't do that, okay? Because I really don't think that the age matters, because I'm not Jenna's age, and if I'm tired or I need to be up early for something and my house is up the block, yeah, I'm going home so I can sleep, okay? And y'all can keep doing what y'all doing, but I'ma head out. And then Erin started bringing up the fact that there was a dish that she wanted to prepare and she couldn't prepare it because Jenna wasn't fond of that dish. Child, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the dish that she was talking about. And Jenna's like, look, you are all adults, right? I didn't stop you from making anything. I didn't stop you from eating anything or from doing anything. And I like that Jenna reminded them, like, look, y'all, you're not going to put this on me, okay? I didn't stop you from doing a damn thing, okay? That's all on you. So Erin leaves the kitchen and she's like, okay, well, I'm going to leave since you don't like my house. So she still feels a way that Jenna left. And she took what Jessel said about her home, and I feel like she internalized that. And she really thinks that Jenna felt like her house was better to sleep in. So that's why she left. And I highly doubt that that's the case. So in the next scene, we see a trainer come over and Uba is all over him, okay? Because to her, he's fine and he's chocolate and all of that. So she's all up on him. And then finally, Brynn shows up. So I do like Brynn. Brynn reminds me of how I used to be. Brynn is crazy. She's a flirt. She's a fun girl. And I can tell that she's going to be a hot mess, but in the best way though, right? So Brynn finally arrives in her fur coat, honey, right? And remember, she was sick, so she wasn't there the first couple of days with the ladies, but she's here now and she's clocking in for work, okay? The ladies are in the back doing their workout with the trainer, so Brynn has to let herself in and she's like, oh my God, there's no one here to greet me. I have to drag my own bags in. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
But eventually she makes her way to the backyard where the ladies are working out with the trainer, and child, Brynn saw that trainer and she was on him like white on rice. She's grabbing on him and touching on him, and Uba's like, that's mine, okay? He is mine. You better fall back. So the trainer asked the ladies if they want to do planks, and Brynn is like,
I want to do you.
Child, Brynn is a mess. So in the next scene, we see that Erin is still bothered that Jenna left. And Jenna had to let her know, like, look, girl, I was in my pajamas. I was in bed. I had every intention of staying and sleeping there tonight, but the music was just too loud, so I left. And in all honesty, Jenna is really a good sport, because I don't think I would have explained that to Erin a 15th time, okay? Like, I'll tell you once, I'll tell you twice, like, baby, I love your house. It was not your house. I promised you it was just the music. And I had something really important to do. My house is right up the street. So I just figured it'll be best to just spend the night there. Like, I'm only saying that one time, okay? If you're still bothered about it, there's nothing, I can't do it, but I'm not going to keep explaining myself and apologizing to you over and over and over. Okay, baby? No, not happening. And then Erin says, well, you could have just told us to turn the music down. Now, given what we know about Erin so far, right? Do you think that if Jenna went downstairs and said, hey, Erin, hey, girls, I'm trying to sleep. Can you turn the music down? How do you think Erin would have responded to that? Seeing that she's made such a big deal about everything else, about the caviar, about the cheese in the first episode, I highly doubt that if Jenna went downstairs and just asked her to turn down the music, that she wouldn't have been offended by that or upset about it. She would have been upset about it. She would have been like,
can you believe that Jenna told me to turn the music down? This is my house.
Erin just gives me that. Like, she's that girl. So in the meantime, Uba is filling in Brynn on what happened the night before and Jenna leaving. And Brynn feels a way about it because she's like, well, Erin made such a big deal about when me and Sai went to that restaurant without her, right? We left her to go to a restaurant. But when Jenna left her home last night, she's not making it a big deal. And it's like all is forgiven the next day because it's Jenna. So Brynn feels a way about it and she's going to talk to Erin about that. So the ladies are getting ready to go out and Jessel and Sai come down and they look super cute. They're like almost coordinating. They both have on this khaki and cream outfit. And Jenna's like, hold on, did you guys like coordinate this? And they're like, no, not at all. And Jenna starts taking pictures of them because they looked really cute. And then Brynn came downstairs and she also had on like the same type of color scheme. So Jenna is like in her confessional, she's like, oh, so y'all bitches know what the color khaki is, but for some reason, when I was having my event, y'all didn't know what khaki was. But now y'all are all in khaki. Like, what is that about? So the ladies head out to eat. Sai says that she's starving because all Jenna's been feeding them all weekend is that damn caviar. And she's ready for some real food. So at the table, while they're waiting for the food to come, the ladies are discussing their ways that they flirt, right? And Brynn says Brynn is crazy. Brynn says that she'll have nudes on her phone and she'll like get close to the guy that she's interested in and she'll swipe through her nudes just close enough for him to see. And the girls are like, girl, what? That's crazy. I don't recommend that route unless your goal is to just, if that's your goal, then okay, I guess that's a good way to go about it. But if you're trying to be in a relationship with somebody and you start off by showing them your nudes, like, girl, I love in Jenna's confessional where she's like, yeah, well, I date women, so women are a bit more straightforward. I'm so happy that I don't got to play all these stupid ass games like these girls got to do with men. So now Brynn confronts Erin about the way she feels that she's handled the situation with Jenna as opposed to how she handled the previous situation with her. She lets Erin know that she feels like it's a double standard and that she would have been crucified by Erin had she done the same thing that Jenna did. I think that the difference between what Jenna did and what Brynn did is that Brynn and Sai, like, you guys lied to Erin, right? She wanted to go somewhere with you, and because you felt like the restaurant was did she say 2012? And she wouldn't be caught dead there. You lied to her. You could have been straight up and said, hey girl, that's not where we want to go. I do not want to go to that restaurant, so we're gonna go somewhere else. But instead of doing that, you guys said that you were going home, and then she had to learn that y'all were actually at a different restaurant on social media. So there's a level of deceit and sneakiness there, which was not the case when it came to Jenna, right? Jenna wasn't being deceitful or sneaky. She literally just let herself out because she didn't want to be a bother. But it's not like she lied to Erin to go somewhere else to be with another group of people. She wanted to go to bed so she can prepare for work. So even though Brynn is trying to put the two situations like on the same playing field, it's not the same, boo. It's not the same. So when Brynn tells Erin how she feels, Erin is like, well, I don't know. Maybe I just like Jenna a little bit more than I like you. At least she kept it real, okay? At least she kept it real. But Brynn feels like, I think that you're only forgiving Jenna because she's the Jenna Lyons, and you think that Jenna can offer you more than I can. When Brynn said that, she kind of gave me the vibe as if she's trying to infer that Erin can be somewhat of a social climber. So it's easier for her to forgive Jenna Lyons because she's Jenna Lyons, and maybe she has more connections, more visibility. So a connection with Jenna would be more beneficial than a connection with Brynn. I don't know. We'll see. But we do see that when Erin is trying to defend herself or justify her reason for forgiving Jenna, now Erin understands why Jenna left. Did you notice that? She was like, well, it was 10 o'clock and we were blasting music, so that's why Jenna left. Yeah, girl. So if you understand it now, why did Jenna have to explain it to you multiple times? So clearly you understood why Jenna left. You just wanted to make a big deal out of it. Because now when you're explaining it to Brynn, you all of a sudden totally understand Jenna's reason for leaving the night before. I peeped that, okay? You're not slick, Erin. And then Jessel jumps in and she's like, well, you can't please everybody. And Erin is like, well, definitely not your ass. And Jessel says, my only issue was the heat not working and like the food, right? And the ladies were like, no, sweetie, that is not it. Do you not remember how pissed you were about those pajamas that Jenna had given to you? So Sai and Erin start telling Jessel how rude she was, because remember, Jessel put on it was like the green and black pajamas and she hated it. And she's like, I look like a Christmas tree. And she was stomping up the stairs like she did not like those pajamas. And Jenna co-signs it and she's like, yeah, that really wasn't nice. Jenna is such a class act because we know that she was definitely offended by the way that Jessel reacted. It was a gift. And even if she didn't love them, her reaction to them was like pretty childish to me. So then Jessel says this. Jessel says, look, Jenna, I appreciate the thought of the gift and I'll gladly exchange it for something else. What the hell? Jessel is like, I know that Jessel is a grown woman, but I do feel that she's kind of stunted, right? In the way that she communicates, in the way that she kind of doesn't pick up on social cues. I feel like she's a little stunted. And I feel like throughout this season, Jessel is going to be putting her foot in her mouth constantly and apologizing constantly over and over. Like, I can see it clear as day because she has no awareness of what she says. In this situation, Jenna just told you that the way that you reacted to her gift was not nice. And you turned around and apologized and then doubled down. You told her, I'll gladly exchange it for something else. Like, girl, No, you don't say that. In Jenna's confessional, she says that something doesn't click with Jessel, and I 1,000,000% agree. So the ladies are back home and they're getting ready for dinner, and they say that they want to give Jenna a makeover, right? They want to see her in something seductive. So remember, we got to see Jenna's closet, beautiful apartment, and Sai says that she has like the biggest closet out of all of us, but her entire closet is full of button-ups. And I'm like, what's wrong with that? Jenna looks good as hell in her button-ups, okay? And then she be having her little, you know, just a little bit showing. I love it. If that's her style, right? Clearly, Jenna Lyons has enough money and connections in the fashion industry to wear whatever the hell that she wants. So if she wanted beautiful gowns, nice gowns and shoes and all of that, well, we know she got a lot of shoes. But if she wanted to be in gowns, she can more than afford to dress however she wants. So if this is the way she chooses to dress, clearly that's the way that she prefers to dress. But Jenna's a good sport about it. So she lets the ladies give her a little makeover, and she comes downstairs in this sexy black dress, right? She looks amazing. And Jenna says, this is the old me. And she says, this is how she dressed when she was trying to attract men. And everything that she did down to what she wore was to please a man, right? Was for the male gaze. I just love how self-aware Jenna is. When I tell you Jenna is a bad bitch, Jenna is a bad bitch. She's like, this is who I am, like, period. When that's the old me, when I was dressing up so that I can be appealing to men and dressing up so that I could be, she's like, yeah, no, I don't got to do that anymore. I don't have to do that anymore. And I think that even if she was still dating men, she would still have that same boss bitch confidence. Like, this is who I am, take it or leave it. Period. I love Jenna, okay? So Sai comes down in the lingerie that Jenna gifted her, and Jenna really appreciates that because not only was Sai grateful for the gift, but she's actually wearing it. So that really shows that she was appreciative of the gift that Jenna gave to her. So the ladies get to the restaurant. Why when the chef is telling the ladies about what's on the menu and he's sharing out the food, Brynn opens her mouth so that he can put the food in her mouth. Yo. He politely curved her. He politely walked around like, oh yeah, no, I'm not about to do that, okay? So the ladies start playing a cute little game. It's like 2 lies and a truth. So, you know, self-explanatory. Each lady says 2 lies and 1 truth, and the other ladies have to guess what's the truth and what's the lies, right? They show Erin in her confessional. She calls her husband and she's like, hey babe, did I ever tell you that I was in a senator's office? And he was like, yeah, and you're on speaker and the kids are in the car. He's like, yeah, and you're on speaker and the kids are in the car. So yeah. And she's so embarrassed, of course, child. That's like me. When my man calls me and I pick up, he's like, hey babe, you're on speaker. Cause he know I'm gonna say some wild shit, you know? So I think it was Erin who had sex at a Knicks game. Brynn had sex with a governor, and child, Jenna had someone fall asleep on her while they were having sex. And I'm like, damn, Jenna. Uba had sex in the park, child. And I'm like, ew, Uba, as dirty as New York is. And she said it was nighttime. You know how many rats be in New York City, like at night, okay? Especially in the park. Uba, you are a brave lady. I don't even know how she got comfortable enough for things to even work down there to the point where she was able to have sex in a park at night in New York City. Girl, you are brave, okay? Then we find out that Jessel's truth is that she had a popsicle in her vagina. Like, Jessel is very interesting to me. And she didn't elaborate, so I can only hope for the best. I can only hope that it was an enjoyable experience for her. That's all we could hope, okay? So the ladies get back home and Erin's fire pit is not working, and you already know that Erin is really self-conscious, okay? First the heat isn't working, now her fire pit isn't working. So she's visibly stressed about this, and she's like, oh my God, the fire pit isn't working. She wants the fire pit to work. It has to work, okay? So she calls her husband and she's like, hey babe, like the fire pit isn't working. We need another propane tank. And he's like, yeah, girl, I'm doing my music. Like I'm busy. So pretty much he's like, yeah, I'm not coming. You got to figure that out on your own. Okay. Brynn takes the phone and starts flirting with Erin's husband. Like, Brynn, I understand that you're a free spirit and you're a flirt. Don't be flirting with people's husbands, okay? You got to know when to switch it on and off, Brynn. You can't be on all the time with everybody. Can't do that, okay? So eventually the tent gets lit and the fire pit starts working. So the ladies gather around and they have a little conversation. So as the ladies are outside, they're drinking out of little sippy cups that belong to Erin's kids, right? And Erin says that the sippy cups are from the dollar store and she just loves the dollar store, right? And Sai is like, really? You love the dollar store? And Erin and Jenna, they're like, oh my God, yes, we love the dollar store. It's so fun. And Sai's like, no, bitch. She's not saying this, but I totally understand what Sai means. She's like, yeah, y'all think the dollar store is fun. For some people, and for me growing up, that's literally all we could afford. And Sai tells the story of during Christmas time, and everyone else had like a real nice big Christmas tree, and they had like this tiny little tree that they got from the dollar store and would put on top of something to make it look bigger than it was, right? And Sai kind of starts telling the ladies more about herself. So she was born in LA and she moved to New York City when she was 2 years old, and her parents were never really there for her. She went to LIU and then she had to drop out, and for some time she was actually pretending to still be enrolled in LIU just so that she can stay in the dorms because she was homeless, right? And then Brynn jumps in and she tells a story about her and her grandmother used to look through the circulars, right? And play a game of, if we had this much money, what would we get? And how would we decorate the living room? And what would we do? And we know that Erin, I don't know the story of Jenna's childhood, but we do know that Erin has been vacationing with her family in the Hamptons since she was a little girl. So what these two ladies, Sai and Brynn, are talking about, Erin is out of touch with that. Erin cannot relate with that. She doesn't know what they're talking about, right? And after Brynn and Sai tell those stories of how they grew up in poverty, Erin turns to Jenna and asks her, okay, so are you sleeping here tonight? And to me, that was Erin's way of changing the conversation because it was making her uncomfortable because she can't connect with what those ladies are saying. It made me look at Erin like, oh, you're one of those. Yeah, you're one of those. Yeah, because these two ladies just took the fun dollar store. Yay, so much fun. And they made it something real. And now you want to change the conversation. Now that could have been editing. It could have. Maybe Erin had an extensive conversation with Sai and Brynn about the dollar store or about their childhood or about living in poverty, but we didn't see it. And in all honesty, I don't think that happened. That's just me giving Erin the benefit of the doubt. But I genuinely think there wasn't a conversation that was cut. Erin is like, okay, y'all talking about that poor shit. Okay, I don't want to talk about that anymore. Like, hey girl, Jenna, are you spending the night or not? So Erin was already like my least favorite housewife so far, but that scene kind of solidified it. And my favorite would be Jenna. I think for now, I like Jenna, Brynn, Sai, and Uba. Jessel and Erin are like TBD. We'll see what happens with them in the episodes to come. But that's how I feel so far about Real Housewives of New York. Let me know your thoughts below. Who's your favorite so far? Who's your least favorite? What do you think about Jenna leaving Erin's house in the middle of the night? What do you think about that conversation the ladies had about the dollar store? Whatever you think, put it down below. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. You already know the vibe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye!
Roxy says we're gonna talk about it.